Okay, so I am going to demonstrate how I look for a source. So first, I look at my ideas and I look at my thesis, not thesis, but idea will suffice. Okay, so UMass Lowell should relocate to a single unified campus. So that's my idea, and I want to look for sources on the internet that are basically a proponent of this idea in one way or another. I basically have to think of reasons why this is a good idea, and I suppose having a source to supplement that idea, to evidence it, then that makes my argument stronger. So, I've basically gone through and saved you watching me stare at pages and read for a while, and I've pulled up this source right here. So obviously, like I said, my argument is that UMass Lowell should relocate to a single unified campus, as opposed to the state of UMass Lowell, which right now, which is that it is split up into 3 different campuses, which you can get to and from by bus or by walking, but very few people walk, as I understand it. Anyway, so this source right here, um, the first thing I want to look for is whether this source is valuable to me. Does it support my argument? Um, I've gone through, and so basically, what this website is, this article, if you will, is about colleges with the top that are highest rank in first year experiences. So that means this college is a list of colleges that were rated as having the best first year experience. So freshmen had the best experience at these colleges. So, best freshman experience at these colleges. So, like I said, I'm arguing that we should relocate to a single campus. So, UMass Lowell will be on one campus. Everyone can get to and from a lot easier. You know, feels a little more like a community. Um, so, I have gone through, I've done you the favor of going through and looking at each of these universities, and they all have a single unified campus. So, like the traditional college campus, if you could, let me just go to the traditional college campus. So, this is basically what I'm arguing we should have. Like this, like a traditional college campus, if that makes sense. And all of these colleges have it. So what I'm saying is, so this in one way or another agrees with my argument. You know, you have a unified campus, a single unified campus, a traditional college campus. That means there's going to be a better experience. Um, you know, obviously, some people would call that subjective and has lots of biases to it, but it supports my argument nonetheless. So the second step to look to deciding on a source is um, deciding whether this is valuable, reliable evidence. And part of deciding whether it's valuable and reliable is looking at the website itself. The website itself. Is this a reliable website? Is this a credible website, rather? So one thing you want to look out for is advertisements. So usually this isn't such an issue, but if a website is absolutely polluted with advertising, then that's a a sign of concern. As you can see here, the header of the website is an advertisement. I assume that if I refresh, it'll come up with another advertisement. I guess not. Yep, it comes up with another advertisement. And if I click it, this means that these ads are set up on the website. And we scroll down and we have another ad here. So if I keep going, there may be advertisements on the left and right side of the screen. We have another one here in between the lists, another one here, another one here, another one here. This is not advertising, this is part of the website. More here. So it seems that at some point, every 3 colleges that you look at, there's advertising. And here we have another advertisement here, which is between 3. So there is a decent amount of advertising, but it isn't horrible. So we have a bottom header and a top header of advertising. I guess where they place doesn't matter, but there's advertising. There's a significant amount of advertising. So let's go to the home page of this website. So it appears this website is quote unquote education news. And here we see all of these rankings. So I understand that universities have a lot of rankings. There's a lot of rankings around universities, and these are in what sort of official, I guess. And I suppose methodology is a statistical word. It's basically a word for statistics. So I suppose we could say that this website gives us basically the methodology of methodology, if that's how you pronounce it, of college metrics. So I suppose it gives us an idea of what of colleges and making college decisions and committing and things like that. So this is just the education section. Best graduate schools, best online schools. So it's basically rankings and metrics surrounding schools. And it gets much more detailed. I mean, you don't just have colleges, you also have grad school. You have rankings for majors. So there's all kinds of metrics. Global universities, and it's not just universities in the US, it's also universities in other countries. High schools as well. Skill builders. So universal education stuff, and it has resources. It has other, resources and tools too. And it appears that they have headers for other types of news. So it isn't just education. I mean, this education tab is one of several other categories on this website. You have news, education, health. So I suppose there's news for each of these categories. Real estate, law firms. So I guess is what I'm getting at. What I'm starting to notice here is that. And I noticed on the home page that it's somewhat less polluted with advertising. So I guess, like here, for example, this website prides itself on metrics. So it relies on reliability. This website would be meaningless if it didn't have all these metrics for people to look at. If these metrics weren't reliable, people would have no reason to go to this website. Because if you pop open this website, you have all these different metrics that people can look at and use as a basis of decision making for college, graduate school, which schools they want to go to, setting up options, So I'm starting to think that this website is more on the reliable end of the reliable dimension, if you will. So I'm going to say that this would be a reliable source. And that's essentially my thought process in looking for a source, is determining, whether the website. Sometimes you can Sometimes you can say, well, this website relies on their information being credible, and other websites don't. Like, they can get away with not being credible and still getting a lot of viewership and attention on their website. It appears that this website, in one way or another, relies on credibility. So I think as far as metrics are concerned, which is what I'm trying to achieve, so basically if I wanted to use this source, I could say that all the top 10 universities in first year experience have a traditional college campus. That would support my argument strongly, because I'm using statistical evidence and math is reliable, of course. You don't get more reliable than math. So as far as I'm concerned, this is a credible source, and this, I think that basically demonstrates my direction of thinking as I look for a source.